The slowest 5-second countdown I have ever seen, and if we're doing this just to be dramatic, mission accomplished. Over dramatic, mission also accomplished. Only thing I gotta say about this is, what the hell am I watching?
15 Raw, 15 SmackDown superstars in the same ring at the same time.
Well, the 15 superstars from each brand would only be in the ring at the same time if there are no eliminations prior to number 30's entrant. Also, I wonder how that would look if there were no eliminations in a Royal Rumble match until number 30 entered. Anyone else want to see that? Some of these wrestlers in the promo are not even going to be competing in the Royal Rumble match, like Triple H and JBL, since they are the two world champions going into this event, and this musical number is for the Royal Rumble match.
SmackDown and PlayStation 2.
Wait, PlayStation 2 is a brand at WWE? Who's part of the PS2 brand? I know that the Raw commentary team is usually on the stage, but I never understood why they are on the stage at the pay-per-views, whereas the SmackDown commentary team remains at ringside.
The fans voted not for Edge.
So, because the fans selected Shawn Michaels to wrestle for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship instead of Edge at Taboo Tuesday, this feud exists? Meh, I've seen worse. Pre-match assault.
Has won every championship available to an athlete.
Well, except for the Women's Championship. Jim Ross didn't say male athlete, he just said athlete.
Not the way you win this match, Shawn.
Well, he still can win the match by countout. So yes, throwing Edge out of the ring and letting him be counted out is a way Shawn Michaels could win the match.
Still with the advantage.
Why did Shawn hesitate before punching Edge? That is likely what allowed Edge to recover and hit back. Rather than counting out Shawn, the referee's wasting his time yelling at Edge, who's not even doing anything. Do your job and count out Shawn.
Participate in the Royal Rumble. Oh, look at that.
Well, damn, that Hurricane Rana counter into the powerbomb was perfectly timed. Here's the first sin-off of this video.
Shawn Michaels is not going to be...
Copyright infringement.
Well, we start doing shampoo commercials. I'll keep that in mind.
And now I got the weird image in my head of WWE promoting shampoo.
And there's some sweet chin music.
That wasn't sweet chin music at all. Edge hit Shawn with a big boot, not a super kick. Get your facts right, Jerry.
Stay focused, Edge.
First of all, Edge is staying focused as he is in control of Shawn. And secondly, quit your cheerleading. Meanwhile, over on this side of the arena,
Come on, referee.
Jerry Lawler would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. Rather than doing his 5 count, the referee just hangs out on the apron doing anything but counting.
And Edge is saying, "Let's not just kick."
While I don't condone Edge walking out during this match, in some ways I understand it. Edge is after all scheduled to participate in the Royal Rumble match later where he wrestles for another 40 minutes. But still, walking out in the middle of a match.
They got to be careful. They're not counted out here.
Not to worry, JR, this referee doesn't realize that he's supposed to be counting these two out anyway, so Shawn and Edge can take their time.
Oh, he is.
You like it when I tickle your chin?
Look at this. I love this.
That's not how you tune up the band. You're not even the correct position for a super kick. If you're gonna infringe copyright, at least do it right.
We're about to hear some sweet chin music.
Does that seriously look like sweet chin music to you, Jerry? Even before Edge ran for the spear, we all knew he wasn't hitting sweet chin music on Shawn. Bad Edge, your nipples must suffer.
He was trying to tap and the rope happened to be there.
What? Also, excuses.
Roll up.
By pulling down Shawn's pants and exposing his butt to the crowd, Edge is disgusting. Thank God they weren't facing the other way.
Hey, wait a minute. What?
Victory by means of grasping the ropes for leverage is always a sin. What a coincidence that the first two wrestlers to draw their numbers from the Royal Rumble match Tumblr are literally the guys who draw numbers 1 and 30. Eric, I can't hear you. Speak up.
Oh my God! Woo!
Just by being excited like that, Ric Flair just spoiled the fact that he's entered at number 30 tonight. Little too energetic.
Thank you, man.
Classic lying, cheating, and stealing from Eddie Guerrero.
I hear you don't like caskets.
What guy does like caskets? You know, the ones that are not Kane and The Undertaker.
I cannot think of a match quite as disturbing.
So Michael Cole believes that a casket match is much more disturbing than Hell in a Cell, Buried Alive, or Inferno matches? All it's about is placing your opponent in a casket and shutting the lid. That's it.
Casket match, and I'll tell you what,
No offense, but having the commentators talk while The Undertaker's Druids are making their entrance takes away the eeriness of it. There are just some times where commentators need to shut up. This is one of them. Wait a minute, The Undertaker's Druids make their entrance just to have Heidenreich make his entrance first? Since he has a fear of caskets, wouldn't it make more sense for him to come out first and then have the Druids bring the casket to the ringside area?
but I am deathly afraid of that casket.
Honestly, Heidenreich shouldn't have mentioned his fear of caskets. Revealing your fear to The Undertaker doesn't exactly help in your situation. What person actually reveals their weakness to their opponent? Especially if that opponent is the freaking Undertaker.
God, I almost feel for the guy.
How can you feel bad for a guy who threw Undertaker in a hearse, lit it with gasoline, and then blew it up with him inside? All just because he has a fear of caskets?
There are no rules. You incapacitate.
Michael Cole just stated that this match had no rules and then proceeded to explain the rules. Sure, The Undertaker's gonna quit going on the attack just because you said stop it. That's totally gonna work.
Directly into the midsection.
Haha, Heidenreich's leg slipped from your grasp. Second match in a row where somebody tries to walk away from the match. Only difference is you can't get counted out in a casket match, so Heidenreich is basically fucked. Monologuing is a villain's greatest weakness, and when you're facing The Undertaker in a match involving caskets, which you're deathly afraid of, is taunting really a good idea?
He's from Raw! This is a SmackDown issue!
Thank you for clarifying the irrelevant fact about Snitsky being part of Monday Night Raw. We're at the Royal Rumble. It's a co-branded pay-per-view. Raw wrestlers are not exactly banned from getting involved in SmackDown matches.
What the hell is he doing out here?
You clearly saw Snitsky and Heidenreich talking backstage before this match. Why the hell are you shocked that Snitsky has interfered? It'd be a shocker if he didn't show up. Holy shit, that was scary and awesome the way Kane was in the casket the whole time. Although I wonder, what would have happened if the casket was opened earlier? Would Kane be like, oh, well, this is awkward.
And it's all legal, Cole. It's all good.
Well, even if this match was a traditional wrestling match, Kane and Snitsky could fight all they want, considering they are not participants in this match.
Wait a minute.
Earlier, Heidenreich was cautiously pushing the casket and releasing with every push due to his fear, but now he has no problem holding onto it just so he can smash The Undertaker's face in. He's been throwing his fear out the window and back in like a boomerang throughout the match. I would have honestly removed a sin if Heidenreich randomly gave The Undertaker a high five during this moment. That would have been hilarious.
He's gonna decapitate him!
No, he's not. How can The Undertaker decapitate Heidenreich when it's his lower back that's about to be sandwiched?
Taker!
Michael, you're an idiot. That was clearly Heidenreich who planted The Undertaker, not the other way around. Here's two sins. Heidenreich is a dumbass. The Undertaker wins the casket match despite the fact that the casket is still technically open, as you can see right there. The rules state that the lid has to be completely closed, and this lid is not completely closed. Screw job. Yep. How did Teddy Long know that Eddie Guerrero even stole Ric Flair's wallet? We knew he stole Rick's Royal Rumble number, but his wallet too? I think the biggest mystery is how Teddy knew Eddie stole the wallet before Rick did.
And I'll come right back. Now!
Well, this basically confirms that these two will be facing off in the main event at WrestleMania this year.
I could beat you at a rap competition any day of the week.
Why would you say this? Now you're just gonna humiliate yourself before you even compete in the Rumble match later. All Christian is missing is a kazoo. And Edge.
A former WWE champion.
I don't understand why the ring announcer is announcing Kurt Angle as a former WWE champion, but doesn't do that for any other wrestler who is a former WWE champion. Also, why is Kurt straps down when he enters the ring, but then he puts them back on before the match starts? Did he have a hard time debating about whether or not he should keep the straps down prior to entering the arena or something?
Raw and SmackDown.
Skip!
The 7-foot, 470-pound.
That's the second time in 40 seconds that Michael mentioned the Big Show being 7 foot and 470 pounds. We get it already. No need to repeat yourself.
Just hanging out at ringside.
Well, that's because Kurt may just be the smartest guy in this match by letting JBL and the Big Show fight each other.
Oh, and a right hand.
This just proves that JBL is apparently immune to the Big Show's knockout punch. I know that the knockout punch doesn't become a thing until years later, but even before it became a thing, JBL taking a punch from freaking Big Show and simply stumbling isn't that believable if you ask me.
JBL.
Kurt blocked his face from hitting the stairs, his head never connected even with his arms, and yet that incapacitates him. WWE logic, am I right? Spanish announce tables to your left, Show. Kurt is addicted to the Big Shows. Go home, Show, you're drunk.
I can't believe it. JBL.
JBL was watching Show get to his feet the whole time and could have easily moved out of the way, letting Kurt take the hit instead.
He's got a hit, Big Show. You gotta wonder.
The Big Show clearly kicked out of that last pinfall, and yet JBL thinks he won. This has probably been the most common thing to say about JBL. He's a dumbass.
Co-secretaries of defense.
Gosh darn it, we missed Kurt attacking Show with a chair just to see JBL getting checked on.
What the hell's going on?
The referee gets knocked down at the crucial point in the match, cliche.
JBL with a he stole another damn title match.
Are you fucking serious, Michael? JBL hits a clothesline from hell to win and you qualify that as stealing the victory? Good lord, you're a stupid dumbass. That's fair game.
Evolution is banned from ringside.
What a coincidence that Eric Bischoff makes that announcement at the very moment Dave Bautista has drawn his number. Forrest Eugene Gump. And now, for some reason, I want to watch Forrest Gump, one of the greatest movies of all time. I'll see you guys in 2.5 hours.
One-on-one main event.
The World Heavyweight Championship match between Triple H and Randy Orton is not the main event because we still have the Royal Rumble match afterward.
I brought you into this, and I will take you out.
I created you and now I will destroy you cliche. One of the many reasons why having an apprentice is not a good idea most of the time. Eventually the apprentice turns on the master or the master becomes jealous of the apprentice's skill. Man, the fact that you can see the silhouette of Randy Orton behind Hunter in the darkness makes his presence eerie and foreshadows the deadly snake he later becomes. Every day is Triple H Day inspires the creation of Rusev Day 12 years later. Referee scans the wrestlers for weapons in this match, but not any of the other matches that had rules. Still irritates me to this day. Either do that for all traditional wrestling matches or don't do it at all. Wow, fast count much? The match just started and this referee obviously wants Hunter to lose.
The young man, there he is.
Jim Ross says there he is as if he scanned the camera for a sign of Randy when Randy wasn't even hiding at all, or did his monitor go out briefly? Either way, sin. Picture perfect and awesome, wouldn't you agree?
Referee's got to be very, very careful he doesn't get disqualified.
Wait, what? The referee has to be careful that he doesn't get disqualified? Since when was the referee actually a participant in this world title match? I'm so confused. There's a lot of foreshadowing moments throughout WWE history, and even this event alone foreshadows Randy's collarbone fade in 2008 with that same counter. It's quite scary if you ask me.
Come on, tap out.
How about you come on and shut up?
Bringing Orton back to the center.
Hunter unintentionally about to give himself some concussions. You may want to stop hitting your head off the mat. What are they doing now? Measuring the height of their arms? Hunter wins in that exchange now that I mention it. Hunter begging for mercy.
That was a cerebral move.
Wah, wah.
I tell you that right now.
Honestly, Randy no-sold his leg injury because if he wasn't, then he wouldn't have been able to even balance himself on the top rope, let alone leap off of it. Hunter making a huge mistake by locking the arms for the pedigree and proceeding to taunt the crowd instead of connecting the move. Bad idea.
And another right hand.
The force is strong with that right hand from Randy. Aw, he's giving Hunter a hug. That's nice of Randy.
I'm gonna have to count you out. Come
How about instead of warning Randy that you're about to count him out, you actually count him out? It's not so difficult to do that. Add another referee knockdown cliche sin, except this one got sandwiched compared to the other one. Also, the remaining 5 minutes of this match is Randy hardly able to move around because of a possible concussion. Kinda sad if you think about it.
This is gonna be perfect.
Rumble number theft. At least when Eddie Guerrero did it to Ric Flair earlier, it was funny. In this case, it's not. Also, next time don't brag about being in the Royal Rumble match and tossing your number in the air, dumbass. Also, this is somehow legal. This entire celebration of JBL's victory, we don't care about him getting drowned in so much champagne.
Eddie Guerrero was in the main event of WrestleMania.
True, last year Eddie Guerrero was in a match against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, but that was not the main event because Chris Benoit took on Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the main event of that year's Mania. Skip again, that's the second time WWE is showing off PlayStation 2. The Royal Rumble match has begun and Eddie is hanging out outside the ring for whatever reason. That may or may not be a good strategy because while you can avoid your opponent in the ring, you're also prone to whoever's coming out next.
Knows only one man can win this thing.
There we go again with the commentators annoyingly reminding us of the rules we already know about the Royal Rumble match.
Gonna win the Royal Rumble. Let me tell you something, Jeff.
Daniel Pewter enters the Royal Rumble match, all just to slip out. I swear if this happens for every entrant going forward, it'll be a sin for each one. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
I just wanted everybody to know tonight.
Don't care. Skip!
Dude, I think you're right. I mean, I don't think...
Rather than simply eliminating Daniel, Chris and Eddie decides to double team him for a while, not realizing that the longer the wrestlers last, the more wrestlers enter, the bigger the ring gets, the more difficult it is to win.
And it is every man for himself. We went over that.
And I don't understand why I randomly remarked it once again. I think I'm trying to set the Rumble record for most times a commentator annoyingly states the obvious. I hear the record is 30.
Watch this. Cannot get disqualified in the Rumble.
Thanks for clarifying that obvious fact, although Hardcore Holly hit Daniel in the gut, not in his pewters. Pewters, that's a funny one.
The Hurricane has passed through.
Wah, wah.
The big man.
Big man? No offense, but I wouldn't call Kenzo Suzuki a big man considering he's about the same size as Chris Benoit and just a little bigger than Eddie Guerrero. I'm just saying.
Oh, Eddie, hang on, Eddie.
Does everybody have to be an annoying cheerleader on commentary? Can I go through one event without somebody cheerleading and actually doing their job properly for the entire show?
Oh, Guerrero.
Guerrero? That was clearly Chris Benoit who hit Edge. Eddie is on the apron with no one.
Respect for each other. Now, Ed.
90 seconds, my ass. It's only been 60 seconds since Rey Mysterio entered.
Against the champion at WrestleMania.
When you say against the champion, that makes it confusing considering there are two world champions in WWE right now.
Shelton Benjamin teetering.
Oh my god, you couldn't be more wrong. Shelton Benjamin isn't teetering on the rope, he's the one making Edge teeter on the rope. Good lord, that was bad.
Last year, Triple H, Booker T in the main event.
There are two sins for that statement alone. Here's the first one. The year is 2005, meaning the previous WrestleMania was number 20 in 2004. Triple H and Booker T's match took place at WrestleMania 19 in 2003, not last year. And for the other sin in that statement, that was not the main event. There was still 2 hours of the show left and many matches remaining when they went on. Eric Bischoff showing up for virtually no reason at all. Get lost, Mr. GM, and let the wrestlers compete. Chris Benoit is an idiot. Teddy Long too? Come on, last thing we need right now is the general managers feuding with each other. Not that interested. Oh, this is why the general managers are randomly out here, so we can have a brief Survivor Series match in the middle of the Royal Rumble match. Everyone in the ring clearly doesn't like him, so why is Muhammad Hassan wasting time posing, and why didn't he remove his headgear before entering the ring? Pre-entered post-elimination assault, which ultimately ends up costing Scotty 2 Hotty his chance to compete in the Royal Rumble match. What a shame. In some ways, I get it when Taz was rooting for the SmackDown wrestlers, but now he's showing concern about Edge being eliminated, who is part of Raw. I guess he can't make up his mind for anything around here. Who to cheer for, or whether or not he should be cheering instead of calling the action. Taz would be great at Cinemasons 2 expansion. Bad strategy to do the spin-a-rooney in the middle of the Royal Rumble match. See? Told ya. Rey Mysterio climbs the rope to taunt and eliminated Booker T, likely not realizing that any asshole can just shove him and he'd be eliminated too.
I think it is every man for himself.
You think it's every man for himself? This is literally the 18th Royal Rumble match and you think that it's every man for himself? Can't really see the action due to the spotlight being an asshole to the camera.
Of course not.
Normally when Shelton leaps onto the top rope like that, he immediately jumps backwards to attack the opponent who dodged out of the way. But over here, he decides to stand there and allow himself to be eliminated by Edge. I suppose he was tired? Never liked Simon Dean, or his bag. Hell, I bet none of you guys even remember this asshole, and I wouldn't blame you if you forgot because I did too. Simon Dean's workout prior to entering the ring. Always annoying when wrestlers do that just to get out of wrestling in the ring.
What the hell? Oh, eliminated.
Copyright infringement upon elimination. Screw it, here's 5 sins. I remember why I forgot about this asshole.
Rene Dupree finding his mark, knocking down the showstopper.
JR, that's not Rene Dupree who knocked down Shawn Michaels, that's Charlie Haas. Rene is wearing purple gear and Charlie is wearing orange gear. Plus, they don't even look alike.
Rene Dupree eliminated.
Seriously, why the hell is JR confusing Charlie Haas with Rene Dupree? So many times in this match. I can easily tell who's who. Why can't JR? Mix-ups happen occasionally, but not 3 or 4 times in 1 minute. Dang, how sad. Kurt fails to win the WWE Championship, steals an entry number, and only lasts about 30 seconds in the Rumble match. Would have been a lot less humiliating if Kurt never stole the number in the first place.
This guy's not a superstar.
Taz complaining about Jonathan Coachman being in the Royal Rumble match. I don't blame him for that, because he's not a superstar. Well, there was a time Drew Carey was in the Rumble too, and he ain't a superstar either.
Just look at his ass. It's got Coach written all over.
What dumbass would have the word coach written on his butt? That's stupid.
Rene Dupree.
I'm honestly surprised that JR didn't say that was Charlie Haas.
What the hell?
Elimination at the hands of a butthurt already eliminated participant in the Royal Rumble match is always a sin.
Angle's not eligible to eliminate anybody now.
Well, that doesn't mean that Shawn's elimination doesn't count, because if any wrestler can eliminate themselves, then anybody outside the ring can sadly do it. Doesn't mean it's right, but it sadly counts. Shawn is clearly bleeding before Kurt could even hit him in the face with the stairs. In other words, blading, which is a sin.
Watch out! Oh, God!
Post-elimination assault.
I'm gonna throw this guy over the top. Viscera.
Taz questions whether anybody could ever eliminate Viscera, despite the fact that Viscera has been eliminated in about 100% of his Royal Rumble matches over the years.
Go get him. I'm telling you that right now.
Man, if only Paul London zoomed in the ring faster and fell out of the ring on the other side, I would have removed a sin or 3.
Look at that. So this is...
Skip!
This got French. What the hell's that?
Violation de copyright.
Right now.
John Cena forgot to remove his shirt before entering the ring and only remembered that he had it on after doing some damage. It's like he thought, oh crap, forgot to do that thing where I remove my shirt and show off my muscles.
Oh, my God.
Dang, that was definitely one of the more brutal eliminations I've seen over the years. Removing a sin for that.
That's all-time record in Rumble matches. What 10?
Wrong. It was Hulk Hogan in 1989 who set the record with 10 eliminations in a single Rumble match. Kane broke that record in 2001 with 11. JR mixes up Rene Dupree and Charlie Haas, and now can't remember how many wrestlers Kane eliminated in 2001. Kane immediately chokeslammed everyone in his path, no questions asked, but when he turned his attention to Jonathan, let's waste time by monologuing. Seriously? We're over 40 minutes into this Royal Rumble match. There are still a lot of wrestlers in the ring, 2 more to enter, and we're gonna resort to staring contests? John Cena and Rey Mysterio debating about whether or not they should team up. Wrestler is tossed out of the ring into his own manager upon elimination cliche. That was one of the funniest failed attempts at eliminating your partner I've ever seen in the Royal Rumble match. Stare down between the final 4 or however number of participants left in the Royal Rumble cliche, and I'm rolling my eyes again. Edge eliminates Rey Mysterio and turns his back on the remaining competition, which ultimately costs him the match. Pay attention! I paid to see you wrestle, not stare at each other!
Go get him, John! Get him, Cena!
Taz is such an annoying idiot in this match. Come on here, come on there. The battles between Raw and SmackDown can really get annoying sometimes. Who would ever thought that a botched finish would have been the most entertaining part of this otherwise okay Royal Rumble match? It's quite amazing that despite the botch, both John and Dave Bautista landed on the floor at the same time. Well, the good thing is Kevin Nash doesn't have to feel bad about tearing his quad, because I don't recall him ever tearing both his quadriceps at the same time.
Restarted!
So, if we're restarting the Royal Rumble match, why doesn't the 28 previous wrestlers get a second chance at the match too? Seems only fair for that to be the case instead of just the final 2. Also, why are we restarting the match now, yet WWE decided to give the Rumble victory to both Lex Luger and Bret the Hitman Hart 11 years previous? And why didn't they restart that match too back in 1994?
It's every man for himself.
Maybe every man for himself. Is it every man for himself?
It is every man for himself. It's got to come down to every man for himself.
Every man for himself.
Look, it's every man for himself.
Every man for himself. I think it is every man for himself.